Hello, class. Welcome to Marketing 455, the spring semester of social media marketing. I will be your professor. I'll occasionally do these short videos. I'll try to keep them short. I know everyone's attention spans, and this is social media, so everyone likes quick shorts and reels. But this is really just intended to be a quick introduction. I'll go through this pretty quickly. There's 5 objectives of the class. Really, number one, just give you an understanding of how to plan and run social media marketing. I will emphasize a lot of the core principles of marketing that you maybe have learned in other classes are very applicable and actually become almost more important in social media because there is so much you can do. And so you want to make sure you're doing the right thing that's going to help you build relationships with your target customers. And all my classes, I always emphasize you got to understand your customer. Social media is probably the epitome of that, or the absolute kind of standout case to make sure you know your customer, because everything from the platform to the type of content to how frequent, everything plays into that. What are the other marketing tactics that you're going to overlay with your social media? Second objective is really just talk about the ever-changing space. There's new players, there's upstarts, there's Facebook, Meta that have been the kind of foundation, LinkedIn for B2B, but there's a lot of other platforms. And so my goal here is just to make sure you have a good awareness of what those are. Number 3, basically understand how social media fits. I mean, if you're running a small business, it might be your primary promotional mix. If you're working for a large company with a large budget, it may be a portion of that mix. So just really helping you understand how it fits, and also how it helps throughout the brand funnel. And then just understand how social media fits into the digital ecosystem. Really important for your MarTechy folks out there. More and more the whole idea is how can you integrate it with your CRM or your consumer data platform, and basically tie in all those activities, your emails, your chats, everything with social media. And so really just giving you a sense of how social media is fitting into the digital ecosystem. It's becoming more and more important every day. And then 5, give you a sense of how to run advertising. So I'll have you go through some modules and do my best to give you real life examples, and even some assignments to get your feet wet. The 2 platforms I'll probably focus on the most from a just giving you experience in is Meta and LinkedIn. And the reason for that is Meta, even though Facebook gets deemed the social media of the old people, Instagram is younger. You have TikTok, you have Reddit, you have all these other platforms, Snapchat. Meta is, just looking at the numbers, is still the largest player. And then from a B2B space, so many of you may go into a career where you're working for a company that's marketing and selling B2B. Whether you're on the sales side or you're on the marketing side, LinkedIn can be an important part of your career and moving forward. So those are the 5 objectives of the class. There is a syllabus I posted on campus to dive into more details. Just real quickly, just the definitions of social media. Really what it comes down to is electronic forms of communications that really allow online communities to share ideas, personal messages. This is really getting down to the primitive, what is social media. and really being able to maintain and create those interpersonal relationships. The kind of more, I guess, marketing definition of it is, social media is the use of social media, the platforms which build social networks and sharing information. You basically want to use them to build your brand awareness, increase sales, increase traffic to your website. And it really provides a way for people to engage with their customers. And this is obviously over the years has taken many forms, everything from influencers to movie stars to paid advertising. We'll get into even some of the fancier targeting that can be done, remarketing, and even tap a little bit on the kind of ever-changing policies around data protection and data privacy and people's concerns, and what are companies doing to kind of calm those concerns. But really, another big part of it is allows more and more, and this gets into the data privacy and people's concerns, but it allows allows companies to have richer data analytics on their customers and how they're behaving and what they're liking, what they're engaging with, which I think is really cool. I'm personally someone who I've just accepted the fact that my data privacy has been long gone, and I enjoy the fact that companies can serve me up products and services that they think I'm interested in, and sometimes that benefits me because I don't have to spend as much time looking for something that I may need. But obviously that's my opinion, and so we'll dive into some of the policies and compliance pieces around data as well. A big thing you'll hear me talk about, and there's arguments in and this is actually a lot of it is driven by social media, is the fact that the brand funnel that you've maybe heard of, or the sales funnel, that's really, in today's, especially like B2B space, that the brand funnel, as I show it here, is really kind of blended in many ways, and people are coming into the funnel at different points, and a lot of that social media. I mean, a lot of that that traditional way of pushing people into a funnel was before social media, was very, I guess, kind of fine-tuned to a point, right? You'd use billboards and TV advertising to build awareness, and then you'd have a telemarketing team to drive sales, and that whole process was very, I guess, solidified and concrete. Social media, it's changed that, right? Because social media is playing at every point of that funnel, from awareness all the way down to advocacy and getting people to like your product and tell their friends about the product. Like every part of the funnel, social media can have a spot in it. Teaching method, usually on Mondays or Tuesdays of each week, I'll post some materials. It could be a video, it could be just some slides, and then usually on Wednesday or Thursday I'll post an assignment. And the idea is the assignment will align with those discussions. There'll be 3 exams. The third one is a mixture of the first 2 plus some new materials, and it's all outlined in the syllabus. I will say, I try, even though I use content from semester to semester, I don't use a textbook. I don't think a marketing textbook I read said social media doesn't give you good data, and I felt like that was appalling. But I just don't think a textbook can be up to date enough. So I do create, I try to create new content each week. And a lot of it is just what's happening, right? Last semester, or last time I taught this in spring, the whole thing around TikTok and the congressional hearings, and what was going to happen with TikTok, who was going to buy TikTok, were they going to be shut down, right? And didn't spend a lot of time talking about that, but almost more of like, well, how was that playing into marketing at that time? So I'm sure something else is going to happen during this semester, and so I try to be flexible with my content. and then I'll have a final project. I will tell you that I don't have office hours. If you are having any problem, you can just set up time with me. But I will say, you should get an A in my class if you just keep up on the content, the assignments. I tried to give good study guides for my exams because I feel like that's part of getting things to sink into your head. And I look at the exams as, at the end of the day, here are the main things I want you to walk away with. And so however I can get you to consume that, whether that's a study guide or actually taking the exam, I'm gonna do that. And so you should get an A or a B. If you don't do the assignments and you miss a test, that's usually, I really, overall, most of my students get pretty good grades. The ones that struggle, the ones who don't do the assignments, and then, heaven forbid, miss an exam. So I'll wrap it up, and I hope everyone has a great semester. Again, I really enjoy teaching this class, even though it's asynchronous. And I won't always do videos, but when I think there's a topic that's worth kind of talking through it, at least in a one-way direction with you, then I'll use video. So again, I welcome you, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye.